Today we're at Hickling Broad on our self-imposed challenge to visit all of the Norfolk Wildlife Trust Reserve in their 90th anniversary year. Although we've been to Stubb Mills several times, we've never actually been on the Broad apart from many years ago when we were on it on a boating holiday. But it's one of the best sights in Norfolk to see the swallowtail butterfly and some of the dragonflies as the weather gets warmer. Today was a pretty bleak grey day, and when we arrived at the hide it looked pretty grim really. There weren't many birds on the scrape at all. On the Cadbury hide, which overlooks Chapman's Pool, which is part of Chapman Broad, which is an offshoot of Hickling Broad. But as the day went on, as usual, the wildlife just developed in front of us. Here we can see the hide, a thatched hide, the Cadbury hide. Inside of the hide, our first sighting was a coot family with 7 little chicks, very vulnerable at this stage and for quite a while. And this is a panorama of the view from the front of the hide. As I say, when we arrived here, it didn't look as if there was much bird life at all on the scrape, but as the afternoon wore on, more and more appeared in front of us. A couple of mallard there asleep on the scrape, a few grey lag about. We saw a couple of Canada geese and a couple of Egyptian geese, several little egrets here. As the day developed, many sightings of marsh harriers, and a lovely barn owl later on in the afternoon, which always makes our day. We love to see owls of any sort. Lovely piece of natural wood there on the scrape, which makes a lovely backdrop, as you'll see later on. Plenty of reed beds all around. We were hoping that we might see a bittern or an otter today, but that wasn't to be the case. Here you can see the second hide, the Sacker hide. But we only stayed in the Cadbury hide today. A few lapwings about today who had their job cut out. And this lovely kestrel that appeared in front of us, a male kestrel. I've just slowed down his flight a little bit so as you can see just how still his head stays. I'm sure there'll be a longer video on our channel of this because Jan got some good footage of this. There's the tower viewpoint. We saw a couple of crows, carrion crows, digging for worms in the soft soil. And then we had one of those moments when we had a fly past by 3 cranes. Not the first time that we've seen cranes, but lovely to see. And then a real study in the art of fishing. Again, there'll probably be a longer video on this particular thing on our channel later on. We saw him make several attempts at catching something, but with no luck with any of them. few herons about in front of us and to the sides of us today. A few little egrets about. Here's a lovely one of that natural wood structure and a little egret nicely posing in front of it, giving himself a good preen. You see a couple of red shanks that came down, and this one is making his way between the grey lag geese and the black-headed gulls. And now the coot sitting on a nest, and you can see the little chicklets there still have their egg too, so they can only be a few days old. A couple of unusual sightings. We normally see them at home in our garden, but collared doves. And then we had this magnificent male marsh harrier in front of the hide, first of all being mobbed by a lapwing. Then we saw it pick something up from the reed bed and landed in the reeds. And there's conic ponies, although they've recently acquired some Dartmoor ponies as well. And the sun did come out a little bit towards the end. It showed off the broom and the gorse rather well. We saw a water vole here. Back to the visitor centre. It shows you how keen we are on wildlife. This is Jan in the ladies' loo finding a spider. Not quite sure what type it is. And then on to the raptor roost at the Stubb Mill, which you can walk to. It's a bit far for me. We've been here several times, and in the winter, if you come here at the right time, towards the end of the day, you can see marsh harriers, hen harriers, cranes, kestrels, merlin, barnet owls, literally anything. And this is a sort of panoramic view of the roost. There's a viewpoint there. And on our way back from this, on our way home, as we went up Stubb Mill Lane, we saw a Chinese water deer that was in the process of shedding its coat, and then 2 crane in a field. But our attempts to get any pictures of them were futile. Bye for now, and thanks for watching.